My shirt is like one with my body right now. I'm going to go outside and watch Claire make Hot Pockets. Do you see them? Can you see the lies? I mean, it's chock full. What's up, fam? This is a weird shot, but I just wanted my hair in the picture a little bit because I went to all the trouble to get it in this cute little top knot. So today, guys, is a Faves, Fails, and Finds. I am sans makeup because I just had a peel. You could do a parody of me at this point. What's up, guys? My name's Kackie. I just got a peel. Who likes blush? Oh yeah, and because I'm not going to wear makeup for this, I decided instead to overcompensate with my Julio Torres glitter hands. So if any of you guys watched My Favorite Shapes, you'll know what I mean, but if you didn't, it's an HBO special, and I'm pretty darn sure he's got the Glossier Play glitter gelée in Phantasm all over his hands. So I ordered it just for the sole purpose of spreading it all over my hands. That's who I am. And I tagged him on Instagram, and he gave it heart eyes. So guys, it's like impossibly hot in this room right now, but we proceed nonetheless, guys. Let's jump into the favorites. Ooh, fave number one is this. Can you see it? Do you see that? Isn't it beautiful? It is a citrine necklace that Hallie, my friend Hallie, who I'm always talking to, the disembodied human that I'm always referring to in all of my videos. Hi, Hallie. She and her husband, Elliot, got me as sort of my half of our wedding gift. So they got me that, and I've been wearing it nonstop ever since. They were in town this weekend. We had an absolute blast. I was going to film with Hallie, but she was here for like 48 hours. We just didn't. We instead, like, you know, got our nails done. Also, she brought me this giant lemon quartz and this tiny citrine as well, and I love them. I think they're great, and I can't help but feel like maybe my life has improved since surrounding myself with these beautiful stones. So thank you, Hallie and Elliot. You guys rock. Oh, you guys, I'm like trying to function. I'm seriously like forcing the issue today on this video, and it could go really, really well, or it could go really, really sideways, but like, my body is consumed with cramps right now. I've never been less pregnant in my life. I just like bled through pants. White pants. Don't at me about wearing white pants on the first day of my period. I'm an Aries. I have some kind of invincibility complex. I don't know what's wrong with me. So here's a fail. If you missed it, I'll go ahead and spoil it for you. This is the $62 Westman Atelier mascara. I Love You mascara that is just one big, beautiful tube of lies. Do you see them? Can you see the lies? I mean, it's chock full. If you're looking for lies, it is a high concentration of lies. This, in that video, I wore it solely with Westman Atelier products. And when I wore this and it touched sort of the oil-based, coconut oil-based, jojoba oil-based consistency of the products that are in their line, it absolutely could not have spread further across my face. It was ridiculous. I have not used a mascara that performed that poorly in a very long time. Price aside, $62 is the funniest joke I've heard in a long time. I finished laughing about it, but believe me, I laughed really, really hard at one point. Let's now talk about a happy thing. Its name is Kackie. That's right, it's my Thrive Kackie lip liner pencil, and it has now been reviewed and loved by Leanne and Kate the Great, but I have been mainly seeing all of you guys posting about it, and I just want to say thank you. You guys are so incredible, and it makes me feel so good that seeing it on every single one of you guys and seeing how beautiful it is, but also how unique it looks on everybody's skin and the combinations that you guys make with the products that you already have. It just makes me that much prouder to talk about it because it is such a universally flattering lip contour shade. It works with everything that you already have, and that means so much to me. It's not necessarily like, you know, you need to go make over your makeup collection. It is this perfect complement with what you already use. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked that video out, I did a whole reveal video earlier this month, the 18th when it came out. It was such an incredible experience with Thrive, the surprise of it all, the fact that they threw me this big surprise party to unveil the product to me. And they came out with a video talking all about our relationship thus far and why they picked me to name a product after and what the significance of the product was. And It is so beautiful. The video they put out is so, so beautiful. I definitely got emotional watching it. It was really, really cool. The whole experience has been just so unbelievably positive. I think I am so lucky to be able to have this incredibly open relationship with a brand, you know? I feel like they're the kinds of people that I can count on to hear me out about stuff, and it really just takes the form, in this case, of the ideal lip liner that I've been wanting for so long. So yeah, if you guys haven't tried it, I'll have a link below for you to check it out. It's 20 bucks, but there are also combinations of it with other products that I really like in their line. The lipsticks that I like to combine it with, there's a Kakkie's Favorites. That's this, the Eileen lipstick, and the Ashley lip gloss, which is actually probably my favorite combo to wear. So yeah, check it out. Check it out! Another fast favorite, something that made it into like my top shelf category really, really quickly. This is something that I feel like was missing from my collection in a lot of ways. This is the new Lawless bronzer. And it does come in 2 shades. I have it in the lighter of the shades, obviously. And it's called Golden Hour. And this is just one of the creamiest bronzers I've ever used. It's this perfect shade of golden warm brown that looks really, really nice on pale skin. And like, at the risk of becoming Tati and using like 5 of every single product type on my face at once, I still feel like this pretty much always has a place on my face. It's almost because it's so easy to apply and it goes on so creamy, and I don't want to say sheer, but really evenly. I feel like when I use it, I don't necessarily have to use the RMS bronzer. Where is it? These are 2 remarkably different products. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I mean, this is extremely shimmery, the RMS. So yeah, the RMS is almost eyeshadow. You know, it's so shimmery, and I love that. I also love that it's not super, super pigmented. Neither of these really is. That's probably the one thing they have in common. But the RMS is gonna be more blushy, and I feel like it does do a good job of like adding that transition that I'm always looking for. But I feel like I can now get that with the Lawless without the shimmer. Like, it does still have that really nice mixing medium quality to it. Like, that's probably the best way for me to describe it. It is, in color value, very similar, I would say, to the Tropic Equinox Cream Blush from Kosas that I always use as just a golden bronzer when I do a cream look. So yeah, I do. I feel like it just has a unique place in my routine, and I'm very, very impressed with the formula. So a fail from this month that honestly feels like ancient history, but I really want to talk about it again right now, is the RMS Beauty Uncover Up Cream Foundation. If you watched this video, you know this just didn't go well. I mean, you can watch the video to see the finer points of it, but I had a lot of expectations. I had really, really high hopes. It was the same level of anticipation from you guys and from myself, and honestly the buzz that they had built that came from like when we did Sunday Riley the Influencer like a year and a half ago or something. That was so, so, so hyped, and everyone hated it, and they eventually pulled it. That's how I feel about this. It's just that disappointing, but I do know that some people have been really liking it. I don't know. It's definitely not for me, but it does kind of fall into the category, the umbrella that I was referring to at the end of the Westman Atelier video. I am so tired of spending money on makeup that doesn't perform. It's definitely something that I feel like I want to talk about more as we get towards the end of this year, because this is Clean Routine 2019, right? It's been this project for me. It's been this, you know, this journey to see if it makes a difference in my life, and then I want to have some firm takeaways at the end of the year on the whole idea of clean beauty. And I'm starting to really crystallize a lot of those viewpoints, especially the difference between natural, non-toxic, clean, organic, green, like all of these buzzwords that are applied to the entire industry, and how I feel like a lot of these brands are kind of running away with it in a lot of ways, while other brands have been there the whole time and they're really doing the right thing. They're getting kind of lumped in with some of the bad actors that are sort of abusing the terminology. However, I did just watch the Caroline Hirons video where she talked about clean beauty and how it has turned into companies like Credo now dubbing products and ingredients dirty and creating a dirty list. And she has a really big problem with using the word dirty to describe brands. I have used that probably one time when I talked about doing a clean alternatives to dirty foundations, but I put it in quotation marks because I also have a problem with it. In the beginning of that video, I said we're not vilifying these products, it's just if these have ingredients in them that have bothered your skin before, here are the products that don't have those ingredients that I think still behave well enough. And I just wanted that to be really helpful for people. That's the problem, is that I don't want to depart from the idea of clean, because basically to me, it denotes that we're after the same thing. We have the same priorities. People are going to be able to come to my channel and know that I'm not reviewing Estee Lauder. I'm not reviewing MAC, you know? There's just like a level of accountability, but at the same time, I really don't want to just get swept up in this like abuse of the word clean and feeling like high and mighty just because, you know, I buy products from Goop or something. I don't want to be that. And so I do think that, you know, yes, there are going to be products that I sort of start to introduce a little bit more of, that I've vetted the ingredients for myself, and then we can be more aware of the ingredients, especially since we've done this like really nice, long, in-depth exploration of what the certain things do. But I do have a lot more education that I need to give to myself. And that comes from, again, Caroline Hirons. When she's talking about all these products, she's like, there's nothing wrong with parabens. There's nothing wrong with silicones. And I know that a lot of people feel a lot of different ways about that depending on their skin. So like, I don't necessarily go like all the way in her camp either. So I definitely am, and you guys already know this, I am a fan of safe synthetics. And so, you know, I got emailed by a company the other day, and they look like just another Faulane, another Credo, another detox market, and they wanted me to be an affiliate for them. And I said, can you guys tell me like what your positioning is like what's the differentiator? And she's like, we're truly clean. We don't do any of X, Y, and Z, and everything is non-toxic. And she's like, we don't do any of those dumb like safe synthetics. And I was like, I'm already not listening, because for me, I am with Caroline Hirons on the safe synthetics have had way more testing than a lot of the natural ingredients that we are calling good, you know, that we are putting under that heading of good because they have the word natural, the word non-toxic in front of them. Because I've been really looking at like the EU standards, because everybody does tout that. They're like, the EU has outlawed like 1,300, 3,300, something like that, something crazy, and we have like 30 ingredients that we've outlawed. And I do have a lot of, like, I have bones to pick with all of it, because I do know, especially Tavener was telling me, because she is so versed in this stuff in the legislature and everything like that, because she works with Beauty Counter, you know, they're working to get more disclosure and things like that, bring us up to the EU beauty standard, things like that. But I was talking to her about it, and she basically told me, like, it's really not that many ingredients that are also being used in American products necessarily. We just don't have any rules against it. They're not as restrictive as they seem, I guess. My point is, and what I find to be one of the bigger takeaways from the EU standards, is that they consider essential oils, all of them, allergens. And that is very in line with how I feel. It's not that they all will cause an allergic reaction in everyone, but they're definitely like these highly concentrated essences that have more of a potential to be irritating for less payoff. Honestly, some would argue all of the time they're just there for fragrance. But they are less regulated, less researched, less tested on humans than a lot of these safe synthetics that brands are putting in their products. And so from a completely selfish performance standpoint, I'm here for safe synthetics because, or at least I'm willing to kind of be the guinea pig for them, because I, at the end of the day, am not going to tell you guys to buy a product that doesn't work. I'm not going to sit here and tell you this works because of the feel-good aspect of it. That's never been my intention. I do have really high standards for performance. And so this just sets something off in my brain of, it doesn't matter how good the ingredients are if it doesn't perform. And so I'm sorry that RMS had to be the whipping boy for this conversation, but the Westman Atelier mascara, it falls in the same category. And we're gonna do the roundups at the end of the year and everything and talk about this more in depth. but I just kind of want to get the conversation out there because I am starting to kind of formulate my thoughts on all this stuff. So if you guys have any resources, please feel free to share those down below. I mean, I know about like Paula's Choice and stuff like that, but even specific Caroline Hirons videos or things like that, even if you don't necessarily agree with them, I would love to just kind of hear them out. That was a lot, but I wanted to get that conversation going. Anyway, a find that I have just started reading is this. This is Over the Top, A Raw Journey to Self-Love by Jonathan Van Ness. And some publications have found some really, really saucy little sound bites that they decided to put right in the headlines of their articles and their reviews. And it irritates me just a little bit that they just spoil the bigger parts and the reveals of this book instead of letting Jonathan Van Ness speak for himself. But nonetheless, I'm really looking forward to finishing this. I really love his tone. It still feels like him, but it's not hard to read in that sense because they have too much like stylization to the prose. It's not like that. Like you can still feel his vibe through the writing. And it's really cool to kind of see even just so far. He talks about his childhood and he talks about how he like felt about coming into fame and how it just hit him totally unawares, how he just didn't realize what it was going to be like. And we're like 7 days apart, 8 days apart, same year or something. He's just like my Aries queen. I will meet him someday and we will be friends. And I know everybody says that, but I'm special. But I wanted to share it with you guys because it's a find and it's a darn good one. Here's a favorite. Oh, Kackie, a Voluspa candle? Are you sponsored yet? No, I'm not, Voluspa. So I did a little bit of research actually on candles and what they're made out of and stuff because some of you guys had mentioned in the live chat that I'm putting this on my face because I'm so hot. Because some of the fragrances and the materials that you're burning in your house, people have told me, can be carcinogenic and not good for you and all that. And I was like, wow, we could really whip ourselves into a froth about anything, can't we? Because I was, you know, deflecting one more category of things that I needed to freaking worry about. But then of course I just, you know, went and did some research online. Turns out Voluspa makes their stuff out of coconut instead of soy, which is really cool. And I don't know necessarily the origins of their fragrances, but it seems like they're doing the right thing. 100% natural wick, phthalate-free coconut wax blend. This is Copper Clove. You guys know that I love Baltic Amber, I love Moso Bamboo. This is a fall scent, and you guys know I got really sad because I got the Capri Blue Pumpkin Dulce candle and realized the hard way after spending all that money on a candle that I don't like fake pumpkin smells, even the really high-end kind. Turns out the only options you really have for fall are like fake pumpkin and like apple cider. And that's what this is. This is an apple cider scent. Has a little bit of cinnamon to it and I do appreciate that. But it definitely is apple cider and it's really refreshing. It's like a crisp, not too sweet kind of smell. Voluspa just nails it. They have like one scent that smells like vape fluid. But like you walk into Bath and Body Works, which I just learned is not cruelty free. Unsubscribe from their emails. Apparently it's like been since like 2016 or something. I must have read an old article. I thought they were at least cruelty free. I thought I could at least buy their candles. Nope. No. Is Voluspa cruelty free? Oh god, now I have to Google. Anecdotally, it appears that they're cruelty free. If you guys know better, let me know. But anyway, yeah, I really, really like this. I've loved having it in my house so that I can continue my denial aesthetic of how freaking hot it is outside and pretend that I can just bring fall. I've also ordered so many clothes for fall, you guys. Like I'm actually putting together my first like high-end capsule wardrobe. I'm gonna do an actual capsule wardrobe video at some point, and you guys are not going to judge me on where I shop because it's not always going to be the most conscious companies, but I think, yes, it's important that things are sourced the right way and that labor standards are upheld and things like that, but I do think that it attempts to replace the personal accountability of us shopping consciously, and that is not buying things we don't need. So not everybody can afford to spend $100 on a t-shirt. I understand that, and I think that it's a little bit more important that we shop consciously, as in we're going to wear the heck out of something that we buy, not shop egregiously from a conscious company. Anyway, here's the thing I did. Hashtag influenced. I watched Leanne's Empties video and she talked about how this is just so, so good, and I've heard it for so many years from her. She was the first influencer to get me to buy anything. It was the Jaclyn Hill Becca highlighter, and that was the most I'd ever spent on a beauty product in my entire life, and she continues to influence me. You guys, it's the Orbe Dry Texturizing Spray. This stuff is supposedly legendary, and I know it's got a really strong fragrance to it, I know that, but I haven't had an issue with fragrance in products that are like sprays. Does that make sense? It's more conditioners and things like that. In fact, I'm going to get to that in a second. My shirt is like one with my body right now. I have not tried this yet. I'm going to spray it so sparingly. I'm going to say little prayers as I spray this, because this bottle, which is 300 milliliters, net 8.5 ounces, was like just under $50. So thanks, Amazon points. Yeah, this is a huge investment, and it better absolutely gild my buns. Speaking of things that have not worked well because of fragrance lately, I have a real doozy of a zit that's clearing up right now because I smoked it with my light stim for an entire episode of The Kardashians the other night. And that is the Amika The Cure hair mask. And I'll put a picture of it right here because it's nasty. I didn't want to bring it up here. The bottle is all like, it's a tub, but it's covered in garbage. Anyway, I put it in my empties even though it's not empty, because the only thing listed on that tub for fragrance is just the word fragrance. I want to know what they are. And the European Union ingredient standards make them actually disclose what the ingredients of the fragrance are. Because guess what? I have a huge sensitivity to lemongrass oil. And if there's lemongrass oil in there, it's gonna give me these big cystic zits on my neck and my back. I wouldn't have even known not to buy it because it doesn't have it listed on the bottle, you know? Like, that's super frustrating. And so you guys really were so sweet about my curls in the last video. And the problem is that I have all of this new growth. You can see I have two different colors of hair. I have all this new growth, and it's super curly. It's so much curlier than the rest of my hair because I've been bleaching my hair for so long. It's just kind of beaten into submission. It doesn't curl very much anymore. Anyway, the whole thing was I wanted to go back to using this hair mask because I used to love it for bringing my hair back to life. Like, I thought maybe if I just soaked this blonde in it, it would maybe rejuvenate the curls a little bit to help it coincide with the dark parts. Well, lo and behold, my skin has decided that it is a diva now, and it was just not having any of that heavy fragrance. That was my long way of saying that that conditioner didn't work for me, but it's mainly because of what we were talking about earlier, that they don't disclose what's in a fragrance United States. Of all of our problems, this is really, like, we've got a lot of bigger fish to fry. Big fish. But like, if I could get a free pan, I would tell them to go ahead and at least disclose what the fragrances are, so I stop wasting my money. But in the meantime, we're just gonna no fragrance, just no fragrance, okay? This is why we can't have nice things. Let's talk about something that doesn't have a fragrance. These are my new boots, and I'm really excited about them. This is probably the first luxury shoe purchase that I've ever really made. And it's because I made a decision that, looking back on my past, oh, dogger. Oh, yeah. What is so serious? I bet that's my Everlane order. Oh, thanks, Ollie, for telling me. So I made the executive decision based on observations. You know, age 32, I finally decided to look back on my past shopping habits. And I realized that usually when I go to buy something that I'm looking for a certain style, like I would like a Western style croc and bust ankle boot for this, you know, and I'd go on Shop Style and I would just peruse until I found one that I liked. What I've done in the past is say to myself, I can't spend that much money because that's crazy. And then I go and I buy another pair that kind of scratches the itch, but it doesn't really do the trick. It's not comfortable enough. It's not the silhouette that I want. It's just not the one that I want. And so then I end up buying another pair that kind of hits the spot. And then maybe another pair that kind of hits the spot. And so I end up with like 2 or 3 pairs of shoes or any item that never really properly scratched the itch, ended up costing more than buying the original thing that I wanted anyway. Now, I will say there's a limit to that because this is a trend that's happening and there are much higher end versions of it. There's a Chloe version of this that I could have spent $1,100 on, but I didn't. These were priced originally at $475. I found them on Farfetch for $350, I want to say, or I think after everything it came to $372. That's a lot of money for a pair of boots, but they are exactly the ones that I want. And they are very comfortable, they're very high quality, and I'm going to wear the crap out of them. To me, that's conscious shopping. That's conscious shopping because I am not making as much waste. I bought the one thing that I really wanted and I'm gonna wear the heck out of it. So these are by a brand called Ganni, G-A-N-N-I. They make an iteration of this boot often, but I'm really, really excited about these. Yeah, I do think that my shopping habits are changing and it feels really good, and I'm really, really excited about those boots. And honestly, I can't wait to show you guys kind of my, fall winter capsule, because it is just like a really fully fledged idea. It's like I finally recognized how I like to dress, and it's so much simpler than I was trying to make it. So excited to share that with you guys at some point when we get there. This is interesting. Is this interesting? I'm not sure. This is the Agave Lip Balm from Bite Beauty, and everyone hates it. They're so mad that they reformulated it. It used to have lanolin in it, and so it wasn't vegan, and then they took the lanolin out. Bite Beauty's pumped because it's vegan now, but everyone else is really, really mad because they think that it's really goopy and they just don't like it. I think it's great. There's something about it that's so weird and so shiny and so nourishing. I don't know. I use their overnight lip mask and their lip scrub and everything. This agave line is so good. I have no complaints, but I just wanted to mention it so I could just have my vote counted. Throw my vote in the hat in there with all of the people who don't like this. I like it, okay? I like it, and I think that it's really good. The only things left to talk about are sort of intangible. The first one is the new season of the British Baking Show, and I know a lot of you guys are watching it because we talk about it on Instagram. There have been 4 episodes so far. They come out on Fridays in the US, and you guys, I think that I will suffer an enormous emotional loss if Michael has to go home. He has my heart. I love him so much. I have never in 4 episodes deep in a show felt so deeply about a contestant on a show. He is the sweetest soul, and he gets so sad when he thinks he's messed up, but then he overcomes his challenges, and he's so strong, and he's so stinking cute. Ugh. I don't know who you guys are rooting for. I think Steph is great. I love her kind of Cinderella story because she is this girl who's never really thought of herself as a winner, and she's very, very good at what she does. And there are a lot of really good I'm a little annoyed. I do feel like they keep kicking off the weirdest choices, the people who didn't really egregiously screw up. I feel like they're keeping people on faith. I know I talked about that the last time we talked about this, but I do feel like last week's episode was the same. The choice that they made was still really, and the only other thing that really bothers me is just that for as much as you would think that these contestants would have watched this show before, there have been plenty of seasons of it. You get on the show because you're a fan of this show and you're like, can I do it? I want to go to the tent. The thing that kind of makes me crazy is just there are a lot of basic things that every contestant has known how to do in past seasons, like make a shoe pastry, that just is stumping people this season. They're like, I don't know how to make a pot of shoe. I don't know how to make a pot of shoe, but I also can't eat gluten. I have no reason to know how to make a pot of shoe. But anyway, yeah, all these people are on the show. I can guarantee you there are people who didn't get on the show who are really mad when they're watching these people who can't make a pot of shoe. I don't know. I'm getting a little niche here, but this season is definitely different, although Noel is on fire. Noel is on fire, and he can't be stopped, and I love him so much. They need to keep him forever. And the last thing that I want to talk about, guys, because a lot of you have been recommending it to me, I want you guys to know I am on board with the Bon Appetit YouTube channel, okay? Specifically Claire, specifically Gourmet Makes. I love them all. I love It's Alive. I watched a video where a guy made a smoothie out of a steak the other day. Wasn't the biggest fan of that, but I could watch Claire's 40-minute videos of her trying to make Doritos or Almond Joys or Twix. Literally, I will have gotten done making dinner and I will be tired from the end of my day and it'll be a little bit cool outside. I will take my wine glass full of water and my phone. And while my husband does the dishes, I say, I'm going to go outside and watch Claire make Hot Pockets, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about. So, oh my God, I'm so itchy. Oh, you guys, she went deep on the peel. She went 25% more with boosters. We did like an extra degrease ahead of time. I am about to molt. I still feel fabulous. I don't know, I'm on day 1 of my period. I feel like I should feel like total garbage, but I don't. I'm like in a really good mood. This week is it's Tuesday, guys. Tuesday starts with a 2. It's Tuesday and I'm already having an absolutely like light years night and day better week than last week. I think that there was just some kind of cosmic shift. Something good happened. I think, Pluto went out of retrograde. So Pluto's direct now. Everything's feeling a lot better, and last week's troubles are behind me, so I hope that you guys are feeling something similar. I hope that you guys are having a really good week. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a really casual video. There's something about me sweating that makes me just go full stream of consciousness, but if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, guys, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. I love you guys so much. I really do. And I also really appreciate you guys' feedback on my last video, how completely understanding that you guys are about me needing to just take a little bit of space between myself and responding to every single comment and every single DM. You guys are so cool about helping me navigate the growth of my channel. So I super appreciate you guys. So thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. We're gonna do an empties next because my face is going to be peeling off. There's no way I'm gonna get makeup on there. So look forward to that. I'll see you then.